Hi, it's me, Zara. I will be doing a deep dive into the concepts of soap and machining. Um, it's something I'm very passionate about. It's something that I feel a lot of videos get wrong. And I want to go over, a couple videos and really just show the issues that a lot of women are putting into them. So, let's get started. We'll start with this video right here.
It might seem surprising since so many of us seem to just now be learning how to properly wash our hands, but soap has been with us for a very long time. Market research suggests that the global soap market will reach about 22 billion US dollars annually by 2022 and about
Yeah, so this woman really doesn't know what she's talking about. There's so many flaws in her statements so far. What the fuck is a market or a global thing? I don't know. Normal people aren't going to know what that means. And she needs to get that right. We should use words like, um, I don't even know myself. That's why. That's why the way she's doing it is so bad. Anyways, let's continue. Oh, wait. There we go.
13 billion bars of soap are sold in the United States every year. But the use of soap has ebbed and flowed over the millennia based on both inventions and changes in convention. The surprising history of soap deserves to be remembered. Chemically, soap is the alkali salt of fatty acid, most commonly made by mixing fats and oils with an alkali base in a chemical process called saponification.
She is so boring. Um, this is terrible. This is just horrible video format. How many subscribers? 1 million? Oh my god. It's like fucking the worst. This is disappointing. I was hoping like Western media might be a little bit better, but it's not. There's nothing to it. Oh my god, look at these timestamps. Oh my god. Yeah, we're just gonna watch something way better, because this is pretty bad.
Hurry into your local Acura dealer for the Season of Performance event going on now.
What's going on, guys? So, the other day, my 1997 F-150, otherwise known as the Green Bastard, started acting up pretty bad, and unfortunately, it's my only truck that I have right now. It's my main tow rig, my main parts runner. It's the only thing I have for moving my bikes around, so we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with it. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't stress out about it too much because it was only 650 bucks, but I still really care what's wrong with it. I absolutely need to figure it out. So, let's do some diagnostics. So the first step of diagnostics is, what is the vehicle doing?
He's doing it all wrong. He's taking diagnostics and putting some weird spin to it. I don't know if it's liberal. I can't tell if it's conservative. It's hard to really tell if this stuff. Maybe it's like a third thing. All I know is it's not. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. Anyways, it fucking sucks. No, shut up. Shut up. Fuck. It's just not right. He's putting some spin on it. Don't listen to it. there's some sort of like propaganda behind whatever he's saying right now. I don't know what. It's not very good.
This particular scenario, it's really down on power, it's not idling very well, and it's backfiring pretty bad. So with backfiring, typically you're looking at a lean condition. So you're either not getting enough fuel or you're getting too much air. And so one of those is usually going to be caused by either an O2 sensor or a vacuum leak or a bad fuel injector. Since the engine fault codes were pretty much nothing of substance, we're going to go after the old-fashioned diagnostics route. And with this old truck, we're probably looking at more than one failure, but you don't want to overcomplicate things. So we're going to go after one particular symptom, and we're going to work from there. And since it's backfiring, we're going to assume lean condition, which means it's either getting too much air to a vacuum leak, or it's just not getting enough fuel due to possibly faulty fuel injectors or just not enough flow. And we're actually going to assume that the flow is pretty good, because one of the things I notice when it's not running well, if I just rev the hell out of the motor, it runs all right. So we're going to assume that it's getting enough fuel in general. So we're going to start.
All right, he's gone back on track. Whatever he was saying earlier wasn't right, but this is good. If you guys have ever gotten into machinings, definitely watch some of this. It's very good. It helps you really figure out how to machine. It's great. I highly recommend it. As someone who's machined most of her life, for about probably 35 years now I've been machining, this is perfect.
Towards the engine, we're not going to assume it's the fuel filter or the fuel pump. Eliminate those completely. So the way we're going to diagnose vacuum leak is.
Okay, one thing you just said. What the fuck is a fuel pump? What is the implication? I just don't get it. It seems to be grounded in some weird, non-existent thing. It could be just made up. Anyways, don't listen to that. There's no such thing.
With starter fluid. With these engines, it's really common for the intake manifold gasket to go bad. And so we're going to start there. We're going to spray it while the engine is running. We're going to spray starter fluid around the intake manifold gasket. And while we're at it, we're going to spray all around the whole engine, and we're going to try to find a vacuum leak. Unfortunately, while I was spraying the starter fluid around, I did not find a vacuum leak. And the way you would know if it was leaking is if the engine revs at all while you're spraying the fluid, and that's usually where your leak is. Didn't happen, so we're going to move the fuel system from there. Testing the injectors, pretty simple process actually. There's only 2 terminals on the injectors when you pull the connector off, and you want to measure the resistance of the injectors. And all of them were pretty consistent, about 15 ohms. And so that's kind of leading me to believe that none of them are bad, because if one of them was reading different, then that was probably the bad one. But since they're all about the same, got to move on. It's probably not one of those. So we're going to move our way to the ignition system. Some of these are equipped with coil-on plugs, so each individual spark plug has its own coil. This is an older system, so there's 2 coil packs, each one of them with 4 spark plug wires coming out of it. So I think that math adds up. Do it. So what we want to do is we want to measure the resistance of each coil and compare that to what either the manual says or what Google says. I don't own a manual for this truck, so I just consulted Google, and it let me know that it's supposed to be about 1 to 1.5 ohms measured at the coil. Both of them check out, so really this is a super basic ignition system. All we really have left is either spark plug wires or spark plugs. So when I pulled the plugs, they looked terrible. They almost looked like they were original. This motor is 222,000 miles, and these look like crap. Some of them, the electrode was burned all the way down to the insulator, so the gap was just nice and fat. It's not a surprise at all that this truck wasn't running well. I mean, the condition of these spark plugs, probably the worst I've ever seen. She's acting like she wants to run now. Oh yeah, that was literally the issue. Idling great, running right. Yeah. Oh, actually making power. Oh my god.
It's good to see when machining comes out on top. It's a feel-good moment. It's so, man, I love when machining is great. It's awesome. There's no other reason to do anything else. I have fixed airplanes, steamboats, anything, you name it. Never a truck like this before. I don't think I've ever touched a truck before. And this is crazy shit. Awesome. That's gonna complete the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and have a good night, guys.